This round, let's see, so we're gonna go from Stauros' point of view, and then hopefully Vect will. So yeah, Stauros has our one warrior. It's an interesting list. I just glanced over all of them while looking for cards that were not allowed. This is a Cthulhu list, is probably given away by Twin Emperors. We didn't get Vex Mulligan. There we go. Okay, so I didn't see Vex Mulligan, which is unfortunate. I really wish these cards weren't upside down. I'll try to go through them because there's some. This game is not going to be so bad because we've got Dragon Priest, so it's mostly cards that are, you know, well known. There's some stuff in some of these lists that I actually was unfamiliar with. If nothing else, this particular challenge kind of showed me just how much I don't know about what set cards came from. There were cards that I had no idea were going to be rotating. He's got no way to clear the Wormrest agent. This is pretty bad right off the... Like, I don't know what you play here. I mean, sure, but that means it doesn't get... A heal puts it out of range. On board, at least. He's going to be able to clear it with the weapon charge plus the Ravaging Ghoul if it gets a heal and nothing else. But that's really... Like, that's a lot of resources to get rid of the one Wormrest agent.
I wonder.
Once upon a time.
So Nefarian pretty quick off the discover. So they are allowed to discover. Whatever they discover is what they get. That's kind of an unfortunate reality of these of these deck building restriction lists. So he's got the ability to clear. Yeah, that's pretty good. Actually catches him up a little bit here. So probably the big hope here is to get something to turn on Twin Emperor in the next couple of turns and then Fight Promoter out of it. That is going to be pretty good. Dragonfire Potion doesn't completely answer the Twin Emperor, but it's going to be pretty solid. Okay, so the Fool's Bane can, you know, in exchange for a mere crapload of life, completely clear the board. Job done. It's hard to complain about that, given just how much health that costs, but it was a pretty good draw there. So Bran into either of the minions, the 3-cost minions, it's pretty good. A 10 mana Bran. So there's no execute in this format, so that's really just not something that's very easy to deal with. So the choices here are kind of rough. You can you can Ironforge Portal to just get some armor. This path lets you play Twin Emperors next turn for the battle cry, but it's hard to imagine, like even before the Entomb got drawn, it's kind of hard to envision the path where this wins. Like you have to play Twin Emperors, but it's actually not even gonna do all that much. Could trade for the whole board here. Alternatively, Entomb and then, yeah, just Entomb and then just trade in and heal back up some. So Revenge is 12 or less. He actually would be pretty happy if that were just one more. That's pretty bad as draws go off of the portal. He would have liked something that was, oh god, Brand Nefarian. So either Brand Nefarian or Brand Operative is gross. That's, I mean, the Cthulhu trigger is obviously meaningless, but probably takes the, okay, takes the Ravaging Ghoul. I'm a little surprised by that. Just a car. I mean, this game's effectively, I don't think Warrior could win it. Like, the Cthulhu's not going to be big enough to completely just annihilate in the way that he's going to need. Huh. Yeah. So draw 4. What did he get here? There's a lot of bad warrior cards. Blood Dicker's not one. Charge. Nerfed charge. Battle Rage. Shield blocks. That's not even all that, like, there's some good stuff there, but that wasn't even all that good of. Okay, that's not terrible. The problem is mostly just there's like Brand. He's got the. Oh wow, there's a lot of combinations of things he can do here. I actually don't like Trueheart. I probably would have Blackwing Corruptor down the Bloodhoof Brave. Does he have a dragon? He may not have a dragon, actually. Okay, he doesn't have a dragon. That explains a lot. Not that it much matters. Like, what are you going to do here? So 10 armor leaves 10. Yeah, I mean, he can live another turn with Revenge and then the Shield Bearer. But it's kind of treading water at this point. He was just behind the 8-ball from early on, and like, I don't think the Warrior choice was bad necessarily. You're missing a lot of the best cards out of Warrior, but you're not, like, it's not an insane choice. It's not like Rogue or something where nobody picked Rogue, and for good reason. But there's a reason why we have 4 Dragon Priests. Are you? I think he might be overdrawing here. No? Okay.
Are you mocking me?
Like, this Brand has stuck forever and gotten so much value. Like, this Brand has been on the battlefield for the entire game, basically. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Like, there's just nothing. Okay. So Vec's gonna go up 1 game to nothing over Warrior. We're gonna see 2 new decks here. Oh, and I've earned a pack, which is nice. We'll open that between rounds, because why not? The Druid Mirror. I think they're both Cthulhu-less. There are differences in the two.
Must be preserved.
Let me add Broken on here. Wow. I'm thinking it. Okay, so I wasn't paying attention, I won't lie. So yeah, a lot of these lists seem to be a mishmash of the Aviana Coon combos and Cthulhu, because you don't get. Oh god, is it gonna do? Okay, so both of them have gotten cards they are not allowed to actually start with. Wild Growth and Innervator are not allowed in this format, which is part of why I didn't expect to see a ton of Druid. We're going to just have to deal with it haloing at each other here. Let's see. Okay, so an early Bran again. There's no swipe, so there's no risk of losing it to swipe. One second, let me... Alright, so just a 4-5, Yeti getting played. One second, I'm making sure that I didn't lose my video. Okay, so, sorry, fixing a video thing. Missed a little bit of the action, but it looks like we are kind of in the same boat here, where where Vex got in that early lead. However, this time he's not winning the value game. That's pretty good. So a 6-7 off of that's not one of the best results, but it's not bad either. Again, a card you're not actually allowed to have in here. There's going to be a lot of that going on. It's hard to complain too much. Mulch is basically all the removal you're going to get. So he gets it as a 4-10. Oh my. So you have to imagine that the Thalnos is coming down here just for the one tick, because it allows for like some really gross things. That's not particularly good. So there's going to be some potential, like, brand things going here. But he's got to not die meantime. So 2 4-5s. Not sure. Probably you just run out the Amber Weaver and the Lights Champion, and yep. Okay. So the Mark of the Lotus actually makes this board kind of trade favorably, at least on board. Oh right. The Harrison threw me for a second. I'm like, where did that come from? They're discovering so much that I'm honestly gonna... Oh, that's pretty good. So that's gonna allow him to just remove the 5-4 straight up. I would... Okay, he's going face. I would have probably thought about... so Bran Doomcaller is a likely play here, but it leaves him dead to anything. Still, he's got to clear a 4-5. He can't clear the 3-5, or he just dies on board.
Symphony of terror begins.
Okay, so yeah, he's dead to a lot of stuff here, but he can go next turn Aviana, Bran, Cthulhu, and get 16 pings off. All the better. This is actually pretty good. So Aviana, Bran, Cthulhu allows you to get in. So yeah, I mean, there's no other line. This is what you want to do if you're building this deck, basically. Hopefully he gets some favorable pings, or else this is going to be, yeah. Okay. So he's at a sufficiently low health that he needs to get the kill somewhat quickly. Basically, he wants to see a kill before the Cthulhu on that side gets drawn. Lunar Visions, minions drawn. So basically, he can play all of the minions. Dark Arakoa is pretty good. So he can go Dark Arakoa, and then he's going to run out of space is the main problem here. So I could actually see suiciding Bran so that you can put all this stuff out. So basically, suicide Bran in Aviana, and then you can at least play 3 minions. You can't. There's no way to get the 3 Twin Emperors because there's no way to clear out a spot for the minion. But I would play the Amber Weaver first, suicide the Bran in, and then Twin Emperor. Yeah, you could also just clear it with... Like, this is fine, don't get me wrong. Like, even Cthulhu probably doesn't do it, because there's just so many minions there to smack in the face. It's, Deathwing or bust, basically, and yeah. Okay, so it looks like we're going to go to 1-1. We're going to see the last 2 decks. I forget what their decks are. We'll see in a minute. Yeah. Okay, so we're 1-1. Sorry about the issues early in that match.
Versus Illyria!
Tremble before the might of the elves.
For Doomhammer.
Okay, so we got the Shaman versus Hunter. So this is the 1 Hunter list. So actually, these players, this match represents the players who aren't playing Shaman and aren't playing Priest, respectively. So everybody else is Shaman, Priest, something. There's some interesting choices in this one. Huh. Well, this is going to be exciting. Really fall into the bear trap. Although the Taunt Totem actually makes the bear trap not so bad. So the bear is going to trade here for, presumably for the weapon charge plus
No look save.
the 1/1 Jade. Maybe not. There's some interesting choices here. Okay. That's not the line I'd have taken. Doppelgangster gets the buff, which is what you want to see there. I actually probably would have looked at something with Totem Golem plus Lava Shock, but, it's not going to be great regardless. That Doppelgangster's pretty good. I don't remember if there's a Devolve in this list. So, the most obvious play here is you trade into the Infested Wolf and then Maelstrom Portal. And then probably Totem Golem. Yep. So there's a chance this is going to make this... Yeah. So this Doppelgangster is, 18 power and toughness now. Which is a little bit of a threat. I'm surprised to see him not go for it. There's not a ton of clear that Shaman's going to have. Devolve is actually about the best answer.
A battle to eat you with.
Okay.
Ladle eat, never brine.
Okay, so just going for the evolve line now. That's fine then. So the cat tricks up. Yeah, that's probably not the set of minions he was looking to see. So Vex just leaning on this doppelgangster as long as he possibly can. Which is fine. It's probably going to be okay. So hold on to these lava shocks like they're going out of style, but finally uses one. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Clockwork Knight get evolved up into a 6 this coming turn. This is gonna be problematic. The Jade Claws are not really gonna keep up with this nonsense. You should get in with the attack first. Yeah, no. You need to get in for your 1 point of damage. It might matter. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know how much I like that unless you're planning to trade up. Yeah. You're looking at 14 damage in the face this turn. 16 with the, So there is a blood... no, there's no bloodlust in this list. That's not a legal card. So what were the... Okay. That goes for trades, which is an interesting decision. I mean, Call of the Wild is probably going to be enough, but I actually would have liked just going base there. So he can actually clear out the board other than the rats here, which is something, at least. Or actually, he can even knock it down to the 2/1/1s if he wanted. Call of the Wild here is going to be challenging. There's really just no board clears for Shaman other than Maelstrom Portal. So you probably got to just do pull the trigger on the evolve and hope for a miracle with these 2s and fold them 1/4. I don't know if that's a miracle exactly. The 0/7 is probably not really what you wanted. It is 7 health.
Hey, join the goats or meet my fist.
No look save.
I mean, this is just some enormous creatures. So Warrior and Shaman's going to be left against Druid, it looks like.
You win this.
That one almost felt unfair. I guess this is what Hand Buff Hunter needs to be good, is a format with no... So yeah, it's going to be Druid versus either Shaman or Warrior. So Shaman/Warrior needs to get 2 wins off of the Cthulhu Druid lists. I think it's totally doable. I actually don't think... Like, we got 3 Druid lists. I don't think the Druid list is particularly strong without any ramp. That said, the Warrior list is also a Cthulhu list, so it's kind of got the same situation. And the hands here, it's hard to argue that the Warrior hand is better. I think the Aspirant's a 1-of, if I remember right. It was in at least one of the lists. I'm not admittedly looking at the lists right now. Hilariously, it doesn't do a ton here, because he had a pretty decent curve out anyway. but the 3/4 sticking is going to be rough, and there's no answer in sight here. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't know if you play Bran or just the 2/3. I mean, obviously the 2/3 doesn't really... Like, it's gonna just die to the...
I have an axe to grind.
It's just gonna die to the weapon charge. Okay, he chooses not to kill it. Which does mean that Vect can pretty easily trade here for the Toner. If he wants to just hero power into it. Okay, well, he would have been able to make that trade anyway, obviously. I wasn't sure if he'd use the roots there or not, just to save the 2/3. This board position's looking pretty solid, though. So you can either go for the portal. What? I don't understand that play. So, I mean, that seems to really be overvalued. That was a waste of a revenge. That was not
A natural mistake.
good. So there was no need for him to use the revenge there. He could have just hit the 3/2 for the 2, and then King's Defendered into the 2/3 and taken 1 less damage.
I have an axe to grind.
Now he does look like he's setting up for a likely fight promoter here. It doesn't look like he can. It doesn't look like he's gonna be stopped on that. Oh right, you have to have 6th current health. So he can trade in for the 3/6, but yeah. So that gets the Cthulhu up to activated level. It is also pretty good. Now, the problem here is Bran is going to be able to stick. Because you can just, Bran into... Or you can just play that. But he could Bran... even if that draw hadn't come, he could Bran plus Beckoner face into the 4/2 and then hit the 4/2, and then Bran is there, and you can't do anything about it.
Shelters us.
Job's done.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be moving to the next match shortly. I'm trying to locate Broken.
Who knows what secret?
In the event Broken doesn't show up, we'll just we'll bump Robespierre over to play Malthrin, and we'll just do it as a 4-person tournament. So even ignoring everything else, like, there's a Aviana Cthulhu turn here in a couple seconds.
The Feast of Souls.
That may or may not involve Bran, but in fact it looks likely not to. But I'm not really sure how the Warrior list deals with a, 2020 Cthulhu.
Behold the rage of the Firelands.
There's... That seemed odd. I'm not sure what that was about. Okay, so this is actually pretty good.
Hey, you need tickets?
Okay, so you probably trade in for Fandral, which at least prevents this from being as stupid as it could be, but it's still gonna be a problem. I assume everything's just getting played here. No, okay. I mean, the Cthulhu is very likely to clear the board. Like, it'd be... Yeah, there it goes. Like, it is actually not insanely impossible that wouldn't clear the board. So you can actually clear Aviana if you're interested in doing that with Disciple plus Bash, but it doesn't really leave you much of anything else. That said, I don't know what you do to deal with, 1919 Cthulhu. There's no execute, obviously. I'm not sure that Warrior has any hard removal that's legal in this format at all. And there's a Doomcaller in both hands, actually.
I must choose. I wonder. Cthulhu! Cthulhu!
Yeah, I mean, this is the line he has, but, like, okay. I think he goes for, yeah, just, here's this. Okay, so yeah, Stauros taps out. I was about to say, it looks like Vect might be going for.